Have you heard about the 2018 study that showed half of prenatal vitamins tested had unacceptable levels of heavy metals? No? Well, now you have. I'm Kat, mother of 3 and founder of Ritual, the company making traceability the new standard in the supplement industry. I remember staring at my prenatal vitamins and finding all these things I was trying to avoid: high amounts of heavy metals, synthetic colorants, and unnecessary ingredients. So, at 4 months pregnant, I quit my job and started Ritual because I believe that all women deserve to know what they're putting in their bodies and why. I'm so proud of our prenatal vitamin. The ingredients are 100% traceable, it's third-party tested for microbes and heavy metals, and recently received the Purity Award from the Clean Label Project. You see, we trace like a mother because, let's be honest, no one cares quite like a mother. But don't just take my word for it. Trace for yourself with 25% off at ritual.com/prenatal.
We made this.
Hello and welcome to We Are Starfleet, a Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Strange New Worlds podcast on the We Made This podcast network. I'm your host, Ashley Thomas, aka the Nerdy Blogger, and we continue our coverage of the first season of Star Trek Strange New Worlds by discussing episode 107, The Serene Squall. In this episode, the crew of the Enterprise, while on a dangerous humanitarian mission, encounter a harrowing game of leverage with the quadrant's deadliest space pirate. My guest today to discuss this episode is Brandi Jackola of numerous Star Trek podcasts. I'll let her tell you all about herself and those podcasts here in just a moment. So Brandi, how you doing?
I am great and so happy to be here, Ashley. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for joining me tonight. I am so looking forward to talking about this episode. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
So very good, very good. And you can elaborate a little more at the end when we tell people how to connect with you, but you do a lot of Star Trek podcasts, not you don't just show up occasionally on the We Made This podcast network. You have, did you say 4 podcasts of your own, and they're all about Star Trek?
Well, technically one is not. So I have 3 podcasts that are about Star Trek and a live show that I do with my friend Dan Gunther on his YouTube channel every week. And we talk about all Trek there, which is good because if we didn't do that show, then I would have to have additional podcasts to cover all Trek because I need to cover all Trek, all of it, every last bit of it.
Very nice. Do you ever join in on the all Star Trek block?
I have not.
Oh.
I have not had the opportunity to do that.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun. The if you get the Heroes and Icons network on your bunny ears, Sunday through Friday, they play an episode of original series through Enterprise from like 8 p.m. Eastern till it finishes at like 1 a.m. So, but if you can join in the conversation, hashtag all Star Trek. I do that occasionally. It's pretty fun.
Excellent. I'll bet money that my friend Patrick Carlin does that because he's always sending me little videos of stuff going on Heroes and Icons.
Yeah.
So I'll bet he's done that more than once. Shout out Patrick Carlin. You the best, buddy.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah. Since you were talking about having a show or being on a show that talks about all Star Trek, it made me think of hashtag all Star Trek.
Yes.
So, very cool.
Excellent.
Yeah. So we're now 7 episodes deep into Strange New Worlds out of 10, I believe. So we're 3/4 of the way there. How are you? I know it's going so quickly.
Hey, a lot more.
Yeah. So I was about to ask, what are your feelings on Strange New Worlds thus far?
I freaking love it.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that wins season 2 of Discovery ended. I'm like, this can't be the end. They have to do something. They have to. And I was just, when that announcement happened on May 15th of 2020, I was crying my little eyes out. I was so happy. So this was so highly anticipated. And when something is so highly anticipated, there is the danger of not living up to expectations. Mm-hmm. It lived up to mine, exceeded them. It has now, for my husband, Discovery was his favorite. Now Strange New Worlds is just edging out Discovery by just a little bit. He still adores Discovery, as do I. So I think it's been a really strong first season so far, possibly the strongest first season of Star Trek maybe ever.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with that assessment. It's, it always feels like the first season of any Star Trek series, it feels like they've got to take a little bit to get the bugs worked out, get the gears going. And I mean, Strange New Worlds, I think maybe got to get past some of that by having some of the main characters on Discovery. So we've already got some introduction to them. Also, most of the cast are legacy characters, so we already know them. But at the same time, like, it just seems like it's been really smooth sailing so far.
Agree. I think that it's just been, I can't say anything really bad about it. I can't say that there were any missteps. I mean, yes, episode 6 was extremely hard on me, and I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to watch it in its entirety again. That doesn't mean that I didn't think it was a good episode. It was just really, really hard.
Yeah. I mean, I had a similar reaction to episode 6. I think it was a really challenging episode. But I mean, if you're listening to this, I'm sure you've already watched episode 6, but just in case you haven't, spoiler warning, I have a hard time justifying child sacrifice for anything. Sorry, not going to do that. And so it just doesn't sit right with me. And I think that's part of the point. It's not supposed to sit right with you. It's supposed to make you think. It's one of those episodes. A buddy of mine compared it a lot to the Deep Space Nine episode In the Pale Moonlight.
Yep.
Because you've got this, what's the greater good scenario? It's like, there is not a good scenario here. None of these scenarios are good.
No.
But we're not here to talk about episode 6, because that's the only one I've had a hard time with. But
same, but for obvious reasons, and the reasons we were supposed to have a hard time. I did have an epic rant about the Majolans on Unready Room, which is our live show. So if you want to watch that, don't do it on earphones. I will hurt your eardrums.
Fair enough. Good to know. Yeah, so it sounds like you are having a blast with Strange New Worlds thus far overall.
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too. Very cool. So for episode 7, the Serene Squall, which is what we're discussing today, what would you give it, like, general thoughts without spoilers, and like a rating out of 10?
I hate doing ratings out of 10. They're so boring. But I will. Yeah. Don't worry. This episode, there were some things that I thought in the beginning of the episode, and then I thought, no. And then it turns out, that was the case. My husband actually was onto a certain character very early on. And at the very end of the episode, as both of our mouths were hanging open, he said, people are going to lose their freaking minds. And I'm like, yep. Yes, they are. So I really enjoyed this episode. It's honestly not the kind of episode I enjoy usually. I don't enjoy traps, and now you're captured and you have to take back the ship and you have to get off that other ship and all these things. I usually don't like that, but it was done so well without lingering too long on any one thing. And just the cast has such great chemistry with each other.
Oh,
that
yeah.
we get to see a bunch of them together at the same time, it just makes the scene even better. So I really enjoyed this episode for a variety of reasons that we will discuss. And I would have to give it a solid, I'm trying not to give perfect ratings to everything because I do that a lot, but I would give this 10 despondent Spocks out of 10.
Very good. Very good. I had a lot of fun with this episode. It was a nice, I won't say it was a breather entirely. It wasn't like Memento Mori was really heavy, and then they got followed by Spock Amok, which is hilarious. And probably my favorite episode thus far in the season. But this one is definitely a little lighter in tone.
It's refreshing.
Yeah, it's more of the, okay, here's a big Star Trek problem and we're going to solve it, not, oh, here is this impossible choice that we're faced with. So it's lighter in that. It's like, there's a problem, not to quote, oh gosh, Vanilla Ice. If you've got a problem, I'll solve it. That guy.
Yeah. I remember.
Yes.
I was born in 1973. I'll get pretty much any reference you're going to throw at me.
All right. Fair. I'm just, a walking font of information that is useless at all times except trivia night. So
Same.
Very good. But yeah, anyway, so, but yeah, this is it was a more accessible problem to face in this episode. Really enjoyed Jesse James Keitel. This episode. They were really good. I believe they use the pronoun they. Is that correct?
I think it's they, she. I think either is correct.
Okay.
I don't quote me on that. I should have actually checked that out before we started, and I was going to, and then I forgot.
Yeah,
but,
I am making this inference because their character goes by they in the episode. So that was my assumption. So anyway, but Jesse James Keitel, never seen them in anything before. They were great. Excuse me. By the way, Jackie or Brandi and I, Jackie.
You would not believe how often I get called Jackie. You would not believe it.
It's fine. I'm so sorry. Tony, cut that out. All right.
Tony, leave it in. It's fine.
Brandi and I are both recovering from colds over the weekend. So a much cooler story is that we found a box of cigars from Rios, and we were helping ourselves.
Yep. And that's not good for someone who has asthma, but hey, a good cigar is a good cigar, right?
I have been known to enjoy a good cigar every now and then. So anyway, cigar smoking cough aside, Jesse James Keitel, great interpersonal stuff. I love character driven stuff, and so we, even with all the action in this episode, we get some cool character driven moments as well, which I really enjoyed. Spock being really clever there in the end, enjoyed that too. Man, I don't really have any complaints about this episode. I think that thing at the end, some people are going to be really excited and some people are going to be really mad. So,
well, let me put this in my perspective, and I can't talk about it, but there's a certain thing that people either love or hate that happened in movie form. Mm-hmm. And I'm one of those people who can't get through that. It's just, I just can't. Mm-hmm. I saw it in the theater, just haven't been able to watch in its entirety since then.
Oh,
When you make decisions for your company, you look for the no-brainers. And if you have a lot of mailing to do, Stamps.com is the ultimate no-brainer. Mail checks, invoices, documents, and everything you need to keep your business running. Get rates up to 89% off USPS and UPS. And with the mobile app, you can take care of mailing on the go. Make the same no-brainer decisions as over 1 million other businesses with Stamps.com. Sign up at Stamps.com with code PROGRAM for a special offer. That's Stamps.com, code PROGRAM.
Have you heard about the 2018 study that showed half of prenatal vitamins tested had unacceptable levels of heavy metals? No? Well, now you have. I'm Kat, mother of 3 and founder of Ritual, the company making traceability the new standard in the supplement industry. I remember staring at my prenatal vitamins and finding all these things I was trying to avoid: high amounts of heavy metals, synthetic colorants, and unnecessary ingredients. So, at 4 months pregnant, I quit my job and started Ritual because I believe that all women deserve to know what they're putting in their bodies and why. I'm so proud of our prenatal vitamin. The ingredients are 100% traceable, it's third-party tested for microbes and heavy metals, and recently received the Purity Award from the Clean Label Project. You see, we trace like a mother because, let's be honest, no one cares quite like a mother. But don't just take my word for it. Trace for yourself with 25% off at ritual.com/prenatal.
So I've tried. I really tried.
okay.
It's just, but in any case, and I was actually really excited about this.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
anyone who's mad about it, well, that's your opinion. So
I'm very much a well, let's wait and let's see what they do, because I was late to Trek. I didn't watch Trek until I was an adult. I came in with the 2009 Star Trek, and so people like think that's insane, but it's
no,
I mean it's much more common than you would think now.
No, that's what I love. Okay, so full disclosure, not a fan of the Kelvin movies, except for Beyond. I love Beyond. But the other two, not. But, and that's fine. That's fine, because it's still Star Trek, and it still brought in so many new fans that are now partaking of all that Trek has to give. And how can I be upset about that? I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not upset about that at all.
Yeah.
Yes, people love those movies. I love Beyond. And that's enough. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
I can't fault its impact, because I feel fairly certain, almost 100% certain, that were it not for those movies, we wouldn't have what we have right now.
No, and I don't think we would. But all that to say, I don't have the same like nostalgia or attachment or other like experience having grown up, partaking in those films and shows and things like that, I don't have that kind of emotional attachment, rather, I guess is probably the best way to say that, for these stories. So, or for these things that they're starting to bring in. So some people are going to be real precious about it, and some people aren't. So, but anyway, I digress. We can talk more about that a little later.
And we will.
For me, that last thing in there, that's going to be a question mark for me. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 dejected looking Spocks. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Fun. All right. So we've been dancing around it. Let's consider this your red alert. This is your spoiler warning. We are going to dig right into the episode. And yeah, it'll be good. So we open up not on a captain's log or a Starfleet officer's log, but on T'Pren's personal log. I thought that was an interesting choice.
Yeah, it is an interesting choice. However, I really want to say this is my only problem, and this happens in movies and television all the time. Stop using myself in place of me or I. Myself is referential. You have to mention, like, I myself find it very annoying that people keep saying myself instead of me or I. Stop doing that and stop writing it. That's all I have to say.
All right. To Pred, you have been corrected.
Well, it's not her fault. Gia's just doing the line she was given.
It's fine. And she's doing it well.
Yes, she is.
So we get like kind of an interesting way to open this episode. It was definitely not how I thought the episode was going to go based on the little teaser trailer. And we open it up with T'Pren, and she's like, I've been doing research to try to spice things up with Spock. And I'm like, what fanfic is this? This is a fanfic, right?
It was totally mine. No, I'm kidding. No, no, see, because, being the kid who grew up watching the original series, because again, 1973, everything was in syndication. My parents had already been watching Trek since 1966, etc. So I know how that relationship ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good. So I'm not really on her side.
Right. Right.
But I find that whole thing funny, especially when she calls him. I'm so sorry.
I wish you all could see this. Like, Brandi is like about to fall out of her chair. Just grade A quality comedy going on over here.
Because when she says to Spock that she's been researching human sexuality and starts mentioning all these texts, but before that, he goes, he has a spit take.
Yes,
he has made the mistake of taking a sip of a drink, and he's like, "What?" Just the way he said it. It's just so good.
Yeah. Oh man,
I laughed so hard at that.
It was really funny. I really I appreciate. This is a very Vulcan thing to do. I'm trying to figure out this complicated relationship stuff. What should I do? Research. Let me go hit the library.
That's logical. That's completely logical.
No, it's great. It's great. That was an interesting way to open it. So Spock's on edge with this, and so he goes to he tells her first, I think we should read these together. Not like her just giving this very clinical examination of Erica Jong and the Argonauts and like all these other things. I'm like, wow, okay. So anyway, Spock hangs up, and then he goes for a walk with Nurse Chapel, and he's like, so I need your help, need some relationship advice. And she's like, you took it a little over the top, a little overboard the last time I gave you any. So maybe that's not such a good idea. Oh, how did you enjoy their, how did you like their interchange?
I like it, but you can already see, and that's a product of episode 5. You can already see that she's just like now completely smitten. And that was an unfortunate character trait for them to give Nurse Chapel in the original series, because it led to that being all there was for her, really.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Majel is obviously, going through the years, capable of so much more.
Oh, for sure.
And so it's kind of insulting that she was just relegated to the carrying a torch for Spock, even though she knows he'll never love her, except for that one weird episode that I don't talk about.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I know if I had watched this in high school, I would have shipped the heck out of it. Like, be like, yes, this is a thing that I want so much because I identify so much with this angst. And I think one, I love Jess Bush as Chapel.
Oh yes, she's great.
I think she's wonderful. I think she's bringing like a healthy dose of Loxana Troy to her portrayal of Nurse Chapel, which that's great because she's getting to play Chapel as she should have been played.
Agree.
Giving her some personality, more than just the nurse,
Yes.
But she, I felt for her, like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, she's got some. That's some sweet agony right there.
It is. And the thing is that she's aware of it, and she's doing her best not to put expectations on him because again, he's honest. And so she knows he's engaged and, all of those things. So she's not a complete lovesick idiot about it. And I appreciate that because, we've seen that for women so much throughout just the history of movies and television that I appreciate they're giving a different perspective on that.
Right. Excuse me. Yeah, I appreciate like that she herself is taking a heavy dose of logic into this relationship, knowing that he's engaged, and she's not going to be the other woman. That's not her style. That's not what she does. And then that good advice from Ortegas in Spock and Mock, don't get involved with a Vulcan relationship. They will hit you with a lipa. And I was like, yep, they will.
She has scars from a lipa. I want to know that story.
Yes. Thank you.
Hello. Star Trek shorts. Star Trek shorts.
Yeah, short
let's
treks.
see that,
let's
please.
That time I got hit with a Libra.
Yeah, let's hear that. Let's see that story in a short.
Yes,
I want
please.
that.
I do too.
Yep.
Yeah. So a little bit of bittersweet agony there with Chapel on behalf of Spock. So, but also like you get that sweet moment. He's like, you're a good friend. And so they get that little bit of banter, and she's like, and you should be listening to me because he's like, you are charming. And she's like, yes, exactly. And you're missing out. So I really enjoyed that.
Yes, I do. I do like that when he's talking to her, when he's explaining, he's like leaning in, he's looking to the right and he's looking to the left as he's talking because he does not want anyone to know what they're talking about. And I'm thinking, well, then don't bring this up in a freaking corridor, Spock.
Right. Maybe go to your quarters or something, have this conversation, but.
Yeah, I mean, I know they were on their way to the bridge, or what they were on their way to the bridge. I think
they were on their way somewhere. But yeah, I just feel like maybe that wasn't the best time to bring it up in a busy corridor where literally anyone can overhear. But like anyone would actually say anything, right?
Because they'd just be like, "Oh, no, we didn't hear that. We didn't hear that. Spot. We didn't hear it. We didn't hear it. Nope. Yep, they know better."
So yeah, they had that nice little moment in the hallway. That was nice. So then we cut to this dinner with in the captain's quarters. So we've seen this kind of scene before, but we know that Pike likes to get the lay of the land. He likes to get to know his crew. He wants to know what's really going down on his ship, and I think that's cool. But we've got a new face amongst the crowd this time. It's Dr. Aspen, played by Jesse James Keitel. And Dr. Aspen is a counselor, formerly of Starfleet, now on a humanitarian mission. And we're trying to save some colonists who are just outside Federation space who have been stranded. So what did you take away from this scene? Because I thought it was a really intimate scene, and we got to know.
Have you heard about the 2018 study that showed half of prenatal vitamins tested had unacceptable levels of heavy metals? No? Well, now you have. I'm Kat, mother of 3 and founder of Ritual, the company making traceability the new standard in the supplement industry. I remember staring at my prenatal vitamins and finding all these things I was trying to avoid: high amounts of heavy metals, synthetic colorants, and unnecessary ingredients. So, at 4 months pregnant, I quit my job and started Ritual because I believe that all women deserve to know what they're putting in their bodies and why. I'm so proud of our prenatal vitamin. The ingredients are 100% traceable, It's third-party tested for microbes and heavy metals and recently received the Purity Award from the Clean Label Project. You see, we trace like a mother because, let's be honest, no one cares quite like a mother. But don't just take my word for it. Trace for yourself with 25% off at ritual.com/prenatal.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino.
That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes.
ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
A lot about Dr. Aspen in just a short amount of time.
We did. And I just kind of, at that point, I was just kind of like, this feels hinky. I'm probably overthinking it. That's exactly what I said to myself. This feels hinky. I'm probably overthinking it because I'm all for a good counselor. You know, I am a huge proponent of mental health. I have bipolar disorder and an anxiety disorder, and therapy saved my life. So, and so did medication. let's not forget medication too.
Right.
So I appreciate seeing a counselor again, especially in this. Well, you could say prequel, but honestly, The Cage was the first episode of Star Trek, even though it didn't air. So I would say that TOS is the sequel to Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
That's just how I look at it. So yeah, I was thinking, oh, great, a counselor. This is great. I love seeing this. And then I thought, but there's that tattoo around her eye. That's, and all those piercings. And I just thought that's going to factor into something. No, it didn't really, but I just thought interesting choice.
My thought was like, this is the future. People don't care if you have unusual piercings or a face tattoo. I was unclear whether it was a face tattoo or space eyeshadow. I am terrible at all things stereotypically female, including makeup. So I was like, is this some new space eyeshadow that I will never be able to apply because I can't even do regular eyeshadow at this point in my life? So it's like, is this a cool eye makeup that's happening and I just don't know how to do that. But I didn't even think to interpret it as tattoo. That's interesting.
Well, I did see, I think it was Trekcore that posted some up close pictures of the counselor's makeup and earrings and parts of the costume for cosplayers. You know, it's like, okay,
nice.
You want to cosplay Dr. Aspen? Here's some reference material. And so there's a really big close up on their eye with the serpent around it. And it definitely looks tattooed to me.
Okay.
Because obviously it wasn't really tattooed because the actor doesn't have that tattoo, but that's it. The way that it was there, it seems like it was definitely done with permanence in mind.
Cool.
That's how I felt about it. So,
okay. Yeah. So, but aside from Dr. Aspen's appearance, which is a little more flashy, a little more fabulous than we typically see, we find out like they make this really profound statement is, some people who need help from the Federation aren't lucky enough to be born in it. So there's that, okay, well, how can we, open the doors? How can we make a bigger table, not build a bigger fence, So I liked that aspect. I thought that was a really refreshing way to think about that.
Agreed.
And so we get the setup for our mission. So that was really cool. So yeah, anyway, so we are headed into to go rescue these people outside of Federation space, and we're we're running into some issues, even though how do you want us to go in, Captain? A first date or third date? Blind date. I was like, perfect. I love like the repartee that Pike and Ortegas have. It's really fun for me.
Yes, I love it too. And when he says blind date and her smile is just infectious, and she's just proceeding with caution. I want to go through my life with that same smirk that Ortegas has on her face, like all the time. I want to be that. I want to go into everything with that on my face.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, most days I feel like Melissa Navia probably has that same kind of smirk. Like I get that vibe from her. That may or may not be accurate. I don't know. But Melissa, if you're listening, do you grin like, I want to say grin like an idiot, because that's how I grin. And I also kind of smirk like that pretty often because everything amuses me. But I feel like she has that kind of infectious personality, I think. So
I think so too. And Melissa, if you are listening, I love you. And
I do too.
So does my husband.
Be my friend.
Be all of our friends. We want to hang out with the cool kids and find out what it's like.
Also, I need like hair gel tips because I think also her hair is a lot thicker than mine. So I'm also a lady with short hair, and mine doesn't like stand up quite as much as hers does. So,
well, hey, if they can get Pike's hair to the level that they did in episode 6, and I warned everyone,
it's going to look like
it's just going to keep getting higher. And because everybody's like, his hair just keeps getting bigger. And I'm like, oh no, the biggest is yet to come. We haven't gotten to episode 6 yet. And it's just, and Anson is taking it all in stride. He's taking all the memes and retweeting them and making jokes about it because he is ultra cool. So
yeah. Well, and when I interviewed him for Fangirlish, his hair was
rub it in.
Well, sorry. I wasn't the only person in the room. I got to ask the man one question. I was very grateful. But his hair was like that while he was at home. I was like, does it just do that naturally? Like, it's amazing.
No. Yeah. No, it doesn't.
But the fact that he can pull it off at home without an army of stylists doing it for him, like that's pretty cool. Respect. Yeah. But anyway, derailed.
I do that often. I'm sorry. It's all me.
No. I'm borderline ADHD, so this is we're in for a fun ride. So we're moving in, and then we get caught in a net, but with lasers.
Which kind of for a second reminded me of the Tholian web, but that was actually the slowest trap that the Enterprise has ever been in. It's like, seriously, if they hadn't been rooted in place by some kind of weird spatial disturbance, then they would have been able to just leave.
Right.
But there's no boom. Now you're in a trap.
Right. So what happens if we do this? Kaboom. And then we do this. Kaboom. And this, I'm not going to say it. So great. So great. Love Ortega's dialogue. They are giving her lots of good lines, and Melissa delivers them really well.
She's perfect in every way.
She's a delight. But we managed to escape based on a hunch from Spock, which Spock's not a fan of hunches.
It freaked him the hell out.
Yep. Dr. Aspen says, you looked like you were about to have a heart attack. I was like, yeah, I mean, for one, I would probably look like that too. Just because high stakes, no pressure, because if we get this wrong, kaboom, either way. So,
yeah,
it was a tough one. So I can't blame Spock for, freaking out a little bit, but
yeah, I can't either.
At the same time, he's not one for, making guesses.
Unless he absolutely has to get 2 humpback whales back to the future so that they can repopulate the species and tell this probe what the hell to go do with itself. So, sorry, Star Trek 4, the one with the whales.
The one with the whales. Yeah. Fun. So we get through. Spock takes a breather. We're traveling. We get this another interesting interchange between Dr. Aspen and Spock, where they say, "Hey, you look like you're about to have a heart attack. Let's talk." We find out just. Dr. Aspen has worked with Vulcans before. They're familiar with Vulcans. So just some nice interchange. Any thoughts on those?
Well, this is at the point where, again, I'm thinking she is manipulating him.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm probably overthinking it.
Well, see, it would have been better if you had been there. Whereas if I had been there, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, Dr. Aspen, they know what's going on. Yeah, they're cool." Did not. No.
Did I accidentally say she?
I don't know.
Well, I meant they. If I said she, I apologize.
That's okay. It's okay. Moving forward. Yeah,
I don't like misgendering people. So
yeah. But yeah, we've got some interesting dynamics in play, and so we get through. And Dr. Aspen does make a point, is like, if that net was the Serene Squall, we'd already be dead. So that wasn't them. So we've got that note of encouragement, like, well, yay, we're not dead, but oh boo, we've got worse coming our way. So we I forget how exactly they run up, they come up against, they find this other ship, right? Yeah, that's what it was. They find the other ship. A landing party jumps onto the other ship, tries to find these folks that were stranded outside of Federation space, needing some help. Here comes Pike and Una, and
actually, Una's not with them. It's Pike and Lon and 3 red shirts that we've never seen before.
That's right. It's Pike and Lon and some red shirts. You're right. So we're all going out to save the day, and
that's when I turn to my husband and say, "Are they going to die? Are those red shirts going to die?" and I entertained that for about half a second, and then I'm like, no, I don't think that they're going to do that on Strange New Worlds.
No, they're not going to lean into that red shirt trope. But
I mean, they can lean into some other tropes really, really well, but that's one that needs to go away.
Yeah. No, but yeah, they've made their way onto the ship. They're checking it out, and things start to get a little hairy. Now we're getting to the meat of the episode.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Thank you. That was very well done.
Oh yeah. Apparently, I apparently should cosplay Admiral Akbar, because I can say "it's a trap" really well. But that's the other Star franchise that we're not talking about. Fun Admiral Akbar aside later after we're done recording, though, because it's funny. Yes. Anyway, yeah. So it's a trap. Our landing party's taken captive, but it gets worse. In the moment of time where they've beamed our party aboard the other ship, they've beamed a whole lot more people over onto the Enterprise. And things start going south real quick. So we've got Nurse Chapel, who manages to hide inside of Jeffrey's tube. Good job.
Smart.
She's a smart gal.
Mm-hmm.
But the crew of the Enterprise starts to realize, oh no, something's going wrong. This is not good. And we get this cool fight on the bridge. What did you think of the fight on the bridge?
I really enjoyed it. Here's the interesting thing. Okay, because Pike is obviously not there.
Right.
Una's there. I love that Ortegas has a freaking phaser under her chair.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Una has access to a phaser as well because she's no dummy.
Mm-hmm.
And Spock's just doing his thing. You know, he's dodging people. He's ripping weapons out of their hands, and then Vulcan neck pinching him. But then when Dr. Aspen is being held at gunpoint and another guy comes in, he takes out some frustration on that guy. He beats the crap out of him.
I think he let loose some emotions there.
Definitely. I'm like, oh, he's angry.
Mm-hmm.
He is very angry right now because otherwise he would have just done the nerve pinch like he did on the other people. But for whatever reason, that wasn't enough for him that time, and he was going to show that person who was boss.
Yeah, he let that guy have it.
And Ethan Peck is a black belt in karate, so he is very good at making it look good and making it look real. And so I absolutely believed everything he did.
Yeah, very like he is good with the physical work of being Spock as well, not just throwing up the live long and prosper and wearing the pointy ears.
Yep.
So Spock and Aspen managed to escape to deck 4, but everybody else, they're out of luck, taken captive.
Yep.
Oh.
Except for Chapel, but they don't know that Chapel's loose yet.
Right. So we've got a couple of wild cards in our favor. We got Chapel on the loose. And again, Spock and Aspen have escaped, but they're trying to get to sick bay because Aspen got shot. So,
yeah, very convincing.
Yeah, that was a good move.
Yeah, the way they threw themselves into that phaser fire to get in the turbo lift and escape. That was risky. On multiple levels.
Yeah, it really was. I wouldn't have thought to do that. I would mostly be like, I'm just going to hide behind my chair and shoot because that seems safest.
I don't know. If it were me and Spock was in danger, I'd probably throw myself in front of him too. It's just me.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've got these wild cards in play, which is really interesting. Pike's doing some negotiations or attempting some negotiations with our Orion captain, and who he's like, I'm not one for going on record, but nice jawline. I was like, seriously, they put that in here. I could not believe that was a real line in the show. Also, I kind of can because accurate.
Yeah, absolutely accurate. I mean, it's really, it's perfection.
You can cut glass with it.
I know, right? Just like the whole face, just all of it. He's perfect. He's just completely perfect.
He's so great.
Yeah, that made me laugh. I had to watch that a couple of times to figure out what he was saying.
Yeah, no closed captions with the screeners, unfortunately.
Yeah, which I always learn something new when I watch the episode as it drops for everybody else, because I watch everything with the captions on. Everything. Because sometimes the sound mixing is not great,
right? And
you can't tell what people are saying. So we just do that for everything, my husband and I. And so yeah, I was just like, oh, he said jawline. I really just wasn't sure what he had said. I didn't even have an inkling. I'm like, what could that possibly be? And so I'm watching his lips. I'm like, oh, jawline. Oh. Yeah. And his hair finally fell down. Didn't fall down after he had sex with that one woman, but sure did when he was having the crap beaten out of his face.
There you go. That's funny. Yeah. I was like, oh, the perfect hair fell. And
I was into it.
So we've got our crew being held by I'm blanking on the guy's name. The Orion.
I've forgotten as well.
Yeah,
I had it in there, but again, 404 file not found. Yeah. So it's trapped behind a firewall or something in my brain.
Yeah. He sounded vaguely Irish to me, and I just found that really amusing on a bunch of different levels.
A little bit. He did have a sort of an accent.
Or is he maybe leaning into like a pirate affectation or whatever? Because I mean, here we are. We got spice pirates.
Yeah. And everybody's makeup seems to have been courtesy of Mad Max Fury Road. So
yeah. Also, that's the best Mad Max. So
agree.
Why not? So
agree completely.
Yeah. So anyway, they Pike is trying to negotiate. Like, hey, my people need food and water, and your food sucks, so let me make dinner. I was like, this is such a Pike thing to think like he could get away with. I will make you dinner and let's talk. Like, dang, I don't know that I would have pulled that one. I'm a pretty good cook, if I do say so myself. I've had other people say that to me, so I feel comfortable saying that out loud. But I don't know, were I to be held hostage, I'd be all like, I'll cook for you. You just need to, let me go. I'll make you dinner. Like, I'm going to say, file that away. Should I ever be held hostage? God forbid. Like, I'm going to pull the Pike and be all like, I'll make you dinner. And then we'll stage a mutiny.
Well, negotiating with food. Hey,
there are worse ways to do it.
Absolutely. And they established in episode 1 how much he loves to cook without even saying anything about it, because the first time we see him in that episode, he's making breakfast.
You're right.
And he's not just making breakfast, he's presenting breakfast.
Yeah, he is making pancakes. Like, I'll take some Pike pancakes. Yes, please.
And they're perfect, and the way that the fruit is laid out on the plate around the pancakes. He's an auteur.
Yeah.
He makes a production out of food.
Yeah, respect. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Yeah. So Spike, good grief. Pike starts sowing some seeds of dissent that he can he doesn't really have to sow. He just like throws a little water on them, because you've got the other pirate. He tells her he's like, they're like, yeah, dude, your food sucks, let's let him make dinner, the crew could use a good meal. I'm like, okay. And he's like, what's wrong with my cooking? That was funny. Yeah, so we got the seeds of dissent being sown. And then back to Enterprise, we've got Chapel furiously trying to send an SOS and can't get through because systems are all locked up, and she gets caught. What did you make of this scene? Because I really enjoyed it.
I did too. I'm just like, she has to have a hypo spray on her somewhere, and sure enough, it's tucked into her sleeve because she again is very smart. Mm-hmm. And she has been through some things that we don't even know about. I mean, we have no idea what kind of work she did with Mbenga before they were on Enterprise. Mm-hmm. So she is resourceful and she knows her own power. And so she's just like, yeah, I've got this hypo spray in my pocket. The only thing that I that was kind of just a little bit of a niggle is when she's got her hands up and you can see that there's a hypo spray in her pocket and she just kind of turns her head to the side as if making sure it's still there. I'm like, trust your viewers a little bit more.
Right.
Don't assume that we're not going to get it.
Right.
We can see that thing in her sleeve. We can see that. But, that's just, I think there are probably plenty of people who needed that, who needed to have it shown to them. Because maybe they're not hyper observant like me, freezing frames and going, did I just see what I thought I saw? So, and things like that. I know not everybody's like that. So but I still feel like.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void were prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Trust your viewers more. We'll get it.
Right.
We'll get it.
Right. Yeah. I really enjoyed her resourcefulness there. Also, kind of like the whole thing. Oh, please take me for granted, or please underestimate me. I'm just a nurse. I don't have any weapons. I'm just a nurse. Oh, but I'll take you out with a hypo spray. Boom, boom. Loved that. That was really fun. Really clever too. Because at first, I didn't get a real good look at what was in her sleeve until just before she sprung into action. Oh, it's a hypo spray. It's she got a phaser tucked in there.
Oh no, she wouldn't have been able to get a phaser.
Oh
there.
No. Yeah, of course not, because phasers were much bigger. In those days. So.
Instead of a garage door remote, like in TNG.
Right. Phase pistol. Yeah. Anyway, that was fun. So she's able to get loose, get to the engineering to try to reroute all the controls to engineering because nobody's there. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Spock and Aspen make their way to the med bay. He gets them all fixed up. They do a little more chit chatty kind of stuff. And we get this reveal that Aspen's husband was a Vulcan. And instead of running, he didn't back down from some space pirates and he got killed. So there's this added layer of, oh yeah. So again, I'm a sheep, apparently. I really was oh man, they've done a good job of building this great backstory for Dr. Aspen. So how were you perceiving that conversation?
Yeah, that was when I was just really no, you are reading this room wrong, or you're trying to manipulate Spock. And the problem is that they weren't going to succeed because Spock was resolute that he was absolutely not going to abandon ship and not going to abandon his crew and his friends.
Right.
And there was no way he was going to be talked out of that, even after that emotional, this is the horrible thing that happened to me, preying on his sympathy, because although Spock wants to believe otherwise, he is a deeply emotional person.
He is.
And he has those feelings. He has sympathy and empathy too, because he's a freaking telepath. So not in the traditional way like a Betazoid is, who can just read your mind from a planet away, but definitely still has telepathic abilities. So and they do say one thing that I do kind of agree with, and that is the whole choosing between the Vulcan side and the human side. That it's a false choice and always has been. I think that was the one thing that I went, yeah, I kind of agree with that. You can't be one or the other because you're both.
Yeah, and you don't have to choose.
No, you don't have to choose.
Yeah, I again, we're about to get there, but everything that they were saying, Spock had a kernel of truth to it.
Yes.
When applied to his situation. And I thought that was a really interesting way to make Spock think about those things wrapped in something else, which really, really neat writing, neat bit of writing there.
Agree.
Yeah. So they team up with Chapel. They find Chapel in engineering. When they see that Spock's trying to reroute control to medical bay, but when he can't do that, he's like, "Oh, somebody's trying to reroute it to engineering. What?" And so they go find Chapel there, which is cool. Getting our forces united, and that's cool.
Yeah.
I believe now we cut back to the other ship, and Pike has made some sort of dinner that is apparently superior to whatever it was they were making before.
I'm going to guess it was chili.
It looked like chili to me. So Pike's space chili. That's what I was trying to say. Pike's space chili was apparently a lot better than Orion gruel.
Anything that's named gruel is not going to live up to anything.
Yeah. No, nobody really enjoys the gruel. Just doesn't have like a really pleasant connotation anyway. So
it's a bad word. It just sounds nasty. Gruel.
No, gruel. Because you have to say like ew and gross like at the same time with it. Gruel.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah. Thinking
that is my headcanon for the origin of the word gruel.
Yeah, and now if you were to look that up in the Oxford English Dictionary, I'm certain that is not what you would find. But
that's why it's my headcanon.
Exactly. I approve of this headcanon. So everybody's had a better meal. We're in a little better spirits, and they're like, this Pike guy, he might know a thing or two because he can make some pretty good chili. Again, he gets put back into custody with everyone else, and he keeps watering that seed of mutiny with this one pirate. I don't think does she get a name?
Not that I recall.
Yeah,
I don't recall her ever being named.
Yeah. Pike's like, you seem to actually care about the crew, and this guy's an idiot. So, he wants to sell us to Klingons, and this is how bad of an idea this is, right? And so she leaves, and then Una's like, "What are you doing?" And then it's I wish I'd wrote it down because I'm blanking on it. It's like, oh, I'm doing something.
Alpha Braga 4, was that it?
Yeah,
it was Alpha Braga something. I want to say Alpha Braga 4.
Yeah.
Works every time.
Yeah, it works every time. Yeah. And she's like, no, you're not doing that. And he's like, oh yeah, Alpha Braga 4. And so I love that there are constant references to these things that they've all apparently done together that we'll never see, except in maybe like novels or I would love short treks. Bring back short treks. It's the second time we've said it. Bring back short treks.
Yes.
Strange New Worlds is just prime for it.
We want short treks.
So we can see the original Alpha Braga 3 or 4, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And all this other stuff they've done before. Yeah. So mutiny is just about in hand on the Enterprise. Not on the Enterprise, but on this other ship. So how do you feel about all of the interchanges that we've got going on there?
Yeah, Pike is just so charming. Mm-hmm. And even when he's just like, I don't want to tell you how to do your job. And then he's like looking around and is like, come here. No, come here. It's making it sound like they're sharing things in confidence and things like that. And that wasn't even for that guy. It was for everybody within earshot, because he's done this before. He knows how it works. And even though the woman does walk away from, hey, it's an actual cage, even though she walks away from the cage after spitting out, eat your gruel, he knows that she is well on her way to overthrowing the current leadership.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they don't spend a ton of time on that, because we don't need to see that happening.
No.
They actually show us just the most important parts, and it's just so brilliant.
And it's funny. It's funny. Like, so, you know, we'll get to that part like a little later, the part that's really funny. But yeah, so again, we've got more water thrown on the seed of mutiny over here. So back to Enterprise. Spock, Aspen, and Chapel, they all get caught, and we find out they get caught because Aspen isn't who they say they are. They're Angel, Captain Angel, like don't. Now, obviously, we've been saying this all along. I'm a sheep. I didn't really see it coming. You, on the other hand, you would have been smart and hidden the Jeffries tube, and I would have gotten taken and participated in the mutiny. So, these are our roles in Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, my husband would have been right beside me too, because the minute that turn came, he's like, I knew it. Mm-hmm. Because he did not trust them from the start. He just thought there's something hinky about them. And I kept thinking that, but I kept telling myself I was overthinking it. And I should just listen to myself when I have these thoughts and feelings. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But I just kept telling myself, no. But by the time we got to the whole sick bay scene and they were trying to convince Spock to abandon ship, I'm like, no, I don't like this at all. So when because Spock does manage to reroute all command functions to engineering and seal the doors, and then just after that, it all gets taken away and it's all being rerouted back to the bridge, and now they have control of the ship, and there's Aspen/Angel with both phasers in her hands, both phasers in their hands. And there we go. And this is when the performance takes quite a turn for Angel. And
step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
I have thoughts on that, but they're tied to the end of the episode.
Okay.
So I'm not going to comment on it as much because I was thinking, wow, and my husband was thinking the same thing. Dave, I love you. You're brilliant and you're so good at guessing these things. So he was saying that it was really over the top, and I was thinking it was over the top. But when we get to the end of the episode, I put that into context. And so it's interesting watching it a second time, knowing the end of the episode. And how that connects. So we'll talk about that more when I get to the end. But I just thought, oh, now the gloves are off, so to speak. And now this person can be who they really are.
Right.
And who they really are is somebody who seems to be having the time of their freaking lives.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like they are hamming it up. Like they get, everybody gets marched out to the bridge. They take a seat in the captain's chair, like, and then they're all like, "Ooh, fire breathers!" And like, it's so much fun. Like, oh my gosh, seriously? Like, first of all, that is exactly what I would do if I got to sit in the captain's chair of the Enterprise. I'd just full stop. I'm gonna like, woohoo, fire phasers, boom.
We'd all do it.
Oh yeah,
we would all do it. And anybody who says they wouldn't is lying.
Those of you listening at home, if you say I would not do that, it's like you are a liar. You need to go, pray and like consider what you're. This is exactly what every single one of us would do. And I really enjoyed that. They were just kind of like over the top ridiculous about it. But I'm like, that's exactly what any of us would do. None of us would show any kind of composure sitting in the captain's chair of the Enterprise if you had free reign.
If that chair was like really, on a swivel, they would have been spinning around in it.
Oh yeah.
They absolutely would.
I mean, it's got a little bit of give to it, right?
Yeah, but I don't think it just spins like completely around.
Yeah, it's not like like an office chair, but
I felt like if it did spin 360, that they absolutely would have had like one foot on the floor pushing it and just going around in circles and whee!
Yeah, exactly.
Because why not? Why wouldn't you?
Why not? Yeah. Oh man, that was that was a lot of fun. So we find out that obviously we know by now there are no lost folks outside of Federation space that need our help. But we were like, why? You're trying to take the ship, right? No, the ship is just a bonus. I'm here for you, Spock. Like, how is this going to work? And so,
and that's when I immediately thought T'Pring. They want something from T'Pring. Because why else would they have shown her at her job?
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So, Dr. Aspen / Captain Angel calls up T'Pring and is like, I'm gonna trade you Spock, your boyfriend, for my boyfriend, who's in your prison. Also, you're really hot for a prison guard, which I thought was just hilarious, and not quite thinking about T'Pring being a quote unquote prison guard, but yeah, kind of.
Well, they call it T'Pring calls it a rehabilitation center, but if that were true, then people would be free to come and go as they please, would they not?
Right. Yeah.
So it is at the very least a detention rehabilitation center.
Right.
Calling it something else doesn't make it what, something other than what it is.
Exactly. But still, like, so again, Captain Angel, lots of sass, and like, I'll trade you Spock if you trade me. What is the
oh
name?
My gosh. Oh, I had it.
Because
It began with a Z. I remember it began with a Z or an X, maybe. I don't know. But it wasn't a name that was familiar to me.
Yeah, it wasn't one familiar to me. And again, no captions. We can't read these names. And Zybotus or something like that.
I don't remember.
Everybody listening at home is like shouting the name at us.
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh, y'all.
Well, you have to understand that this, at the time that we are recording this isn't up on Memory Alpha. This isn't up on IMDb. We can't look any of this up. So sorry.
No, we are out of luck. And they,
let's call him Zamboni. Let's just call him Zamboni and be done with it.
Zamboni. All right. So I can't even say it out loud. It's so silly.
So I went with it.
Yeah. Okay, so Captain Angel wants to trade Spock to T'Pren for Zamboni. and T'Pren's like, one, I can't do that because I will lose my job and bring shame to my house. Like, are y'all Klingons now?
And she would also be brought up on criminal charges.
Oh yes, that too. Here are the three very bad things that will happen to me if I do that. And Captain Angel's like, yeah, well, you're engaged to Spock, so you're also responsible for him. So bring, shame to yourself for, not doing your job, and, doing a criminal act, or bring shame to yourself for not taking care of your man. These are your options. And so Spock very quickly whispers to Chapel, please forgive me for anything I might do. Follow my lead.
Well, that part doesn't happen yet, because this is just the first meeting.
Oh, this is the ultimatum.
T'Pren's still back on Vulcan. She says that she's not going to do that.
Oh, that's right.
And of course, Angel says, well, I'm going to send you the coordinates anyway. So meet me here at this time and we'll do an exchange. And after T'Pren signs off, Spock says she's never going to do it. And Angel is like, yeah, actually she will. And I'll tell you why. And goes on this whole diatribe about love and how it's the only thing that makes the deep cold of space bearable, and that they want to trade Spock for, their love, their lover, maybe their husband. I don't know. They didn't really say.
Yeah. So yeah, they were not super specific about that.
Yeah. Well, they did say, I'm getting my love back, granted, not dead, but taken from me all the same, sort of thing. So yeah, T'Pren does come to the meeting.
Yeah, one love for another.
Yeah,
another for another.
Yeah, so they do go to the meeting, and T'Pren does show up, and that's when things are gonna get messy, because Spock tries to talk T'Pren out of it, and Angel stuns him. And I'm just like, oh no, don't hurt yourself on the way down. But Chapel was right there, of course. And in true good actual the way medicine works, when you've been stunned or hit in the head or something like that, you're not out for hours. You're out for a few seconds. Like if you've been hit in the head, or, if the hit with a phaser round stun, you shouldn't be out for more than a couple minutes. And if you are, you probably have brain damage or some other thing that's going on. And that's very bad. So Spock wakes up pretty quickly, and they're T'Pren saying, okay, just don't hurt him again. I will give you what you want. Just don't hurt him. And that's when Spock comes up with a plan.
And so he whispers to Chapel and says, please forgive me for any what's the right words he used, like advances I may make or whatever. And then he's like, just follow my lead. And she's like, okay. And so in order to kind of make this work without implicating T'Pring, he says to Pring, I have been, I must be honest with you. I've been leaning into my human side too much. And she's like, what are you talking about? And Chapel picks up on it. Like, Spock and I are having an affair. Like, we're in love. We're in love. And T'Pring's like, this is not logical or whatever. And then so they have this monster of a kiss. Holy cow. It's like, dang, Spock. Like, he went for it. And and like I was watching Chapel, because like she doesn't close her eyes at first. She's like, she's kind of like, oh shit, this is really happening. And then just kind of melts, like, yes. Because I mean, who doesn't grok Spock? I mean, does anyone not grok Spock? That's a thing, right?
Oh yeah, I wish I was Chapel in that moment. Definitely.
Yeah, I know, right? So everybody wishes they were Chapel right then. And they pull off this really passionate kiss. And T'Pring is all like, well, we're done. Boy, bye. Except they do it in Vulcan.
They sever their bond.
Live long and prosper, even though you're probably not living real long, Spock. It's like, it says goodbye, Spock. It's like,
the thing is, she did a very lazy Vulcan salute.
Yeah,
like her fingers were barely apart. Her thumb was in almost. Yeah, I feel like that was almost purposeful.
Yeah, I noticed. It's like, is Gia Soundhue not as good as doing the live long and prosper as?
No, she
Ethan
is
Peck?
though. She is though.
Or is this like kind of the equivalent of a Vulcan middle finger?
Yeah, I think it was a sign of disrespect. To not do it properly.
Yeah.
So not that I'm just headcanoning that, but I mean, Aspen/Angel might have realized that. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But I just thought, wow, that was a really lazy Vulcan hand salute.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And I was curious, like, because I hadn't paid close attention before. Is she just not real good at throwing up the live long and prosper, or is this like something else?
I really feel like it was something else, but I don't know. I'm gonna when they have the Ready Room episode about this, I'm gonna be watching it.
I know. I'm really eager to get some more details about all of that.
Yes.
So this severs the engagement. T'Pring's out of there. I doubt, did she bring Zamboni with her?
Oh yeah, she absolutely did.
Yeah. Okay. I was unclear about that. So, but yeah. And Captain Angel can't believe it. They're like, seriously? Like, I'm not going to get my trade out of this after that little like charade you all just performed.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
So anyway, I thought that was really cleverly executed. And in the midst of all of this, they get fired upon. Incoming. What's going on here? Did T'Pring just fire at me? Surely not. No, it's Pike. With their ship.
I love that because Angel was like, destroy that ship. They were going to fire on T'Pring's ship because they were really pissed off. So that actually makes me think, no, I don't think Zamboni was actually on board because T'Pring was giving them like specific cell number information and stuff like that. So probably not actually. No, he'd have to be on the ship. But anyway, I don't know. But they were not thinking clearly. So they were angry. And then, all of a sudden they have no control. They have nothing. Yep, they have no control over the ship. They can't go anywhere. They have no warp drive. They have no impulse engines. They are going to use thrusters, but all of a sudden, because Pike comes screaming in on the Serene Squall and hails them. And this is one of my favorite parts. I'm only going to say this once. Get the hell out of my chair.
I loved it. I'm like, you know what? Maybe the line's a little cheesy. I don't care. Don't care at all. Perfectly executed. Well done. And I just love that this ship that they're on, it looks like Pike is standing behind a ship's wheel. Yeah. Was that just me or like?
No.
Okay.
That was not just you. That was absolutely just a big steering wheel like they had on ships of old.
Like an actual pirate ship. I love it. Yep. So everybody is, happy mutineers and, we're told to fire gently at Sir. What does fire gently even mean?
Well, Ortegas does fire, but it definitely takes out the thrusters too. And he's like, I said gently. He says, what does that even mean? What does fire gently even mean?
Don't think that's a thing you could do, but
not with phasers.
No, not really. You can't set. No, not like that. No. That's really funny. Yeah. So they take back the ship. Captain Angel knows they have lost, and they leave Spock with a final word. So, you don't have to choose. And you wanted to elaborate a little more on that, or is that coming later?
Well, let's talk about the very, very end.
Yeah.
And because there is a moment where Spock does say, where Angel says something and Spock does say to Chapel, I believe I know the identity of the Vulcan that they're trying to free.
Mm-hmm. They're using a code name or not, a false name that we couldn't remember. So we were saying Zamboni,
which now that's just going to be what it is.
Not going to. Yeah. So, but Chapel presses him further later in the episode, like, hey, who did you say it was?
And he does reveal slowly who this
dramatically
is. And it's still not enough information for me. I still want to know more because Spock says Ambassador Sarek had a child out of wedlock. What does that mean exactly? Was he married at the time to Amanda, or was this before he got married to Amanda? These are things that I want to know that have never been made clear, in my opinion. And so, anyway, we all know at that point, it's freaking Sybok.
Right.
It's freaking Sybok.
Sybok.
Yeah. The thing about Sybok is of course he is full Vulcan,
right?
But he has eschewed logic, and this is why I believe that Angel was doing something so over the top, because they are embracing that emotion fully. and taking it to its extreme conclusion. And so that actually makes it make more sense, because that's the way Cybok lives.
Right.
And so that's the way Angel lives, is that everything is at an extreme. There's nothing below 11. It's all turned up to 11.
Right. Yeah. That's a really interesting point that I had not thought of. So please remind me, which Star Trek film does Cybok show up in?
That's Star Trek 5.
Okay.
Which has Star Trek 5, The Final Frontier? No. It's Final Frontier, because 6 is the undiscovered country. So yes, it's called The Final Frontier, which made everybody think it was the last one, but it wasn't. So,
right.
Which is probably good, because Star Trek 6 was really great.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the kind of the big reveal at the end of the episode, is Cybok is here. So one thing I don't really want to skip over, though, before we go into full on Cybok discussion,
I know what you're going for. I know
is the discussion that Spock and Chapel have. Spock seeks Chapel out and says, like, hey, I want to talk to you because you're a human and I thought you might need to discuss your emotions about what happened. Which is, very, very thoughtful of Spock, but you can see that, like, Chapel she's pretty heartbroken, because she knows that's as good as it's going to get for her, is that fake kiss, but passionately expressed still, because T'Pring figured out, oh, this is just a ruse, it's okay. And so she knows that, Spock's not going to be the kind of guy who would ever cheat, because Vulcans are honest. So,
yeah. And the discussion that Spock has with T'Pring breaks my heart, because she says some things that visibly hurt him. And it's not like she's trying to hurt him, but she says, I knew that it couldn't be true, because you couldn't have possibly had feelings for Nurse Chapel, and you would have had to invoke your human side to sell that kiss. And he just, the pain on his face, I actually took a screenshot of it because I wanted to study it, and I'm like, oh man, he is dying inside right now.
Yeah.
And he manages to say to her, "You know me well," which is absolutely untrue.
Right.
He doesn't know him at all.
And so tell me how you're reading that expression for Spock, because I think you and I had two different readings of it, and maybe it's just my little shipper heart, but I'm just like, oh, like no, I don't think that at all.
Like
he does have some feelings for Chapel. Yeah,
he felt something when he kissed her. He absolutely felt something. And for T'Pring to just write that off and not question it and just say, oh, no, you couldn't have been actually, have actually wanted to do that. And just, again, her putting down his human side without saying it outright. She's really good at that. And it makes me angry every time it happens. Yeah. And the thing is that I love Gia Sandu. I think she's fantastic. And I think that she's great in this role, and she's doing it very, very well. But I also know that we are not supposed to really like T'Pring, because we know how this is going to end.
Yep.
So it hurt me to watch his reaction to those things that she said. And then she says that that they should do a rebonding ritual, and it just all goes away. except for just a little bit that's still left on his face. And he says, that's logical. And then they kiss, but he doesn't kiss T'Pring like that. Oh, no. It's very closed lip, just there's not passion there.
Yeah.
Not passion. So, boy, their sex life must be really boring.
Yeah. Well, it's just some bit of heartbreak in this episode. I think this is a really great episode. You had the great adventure with the space pirates, because when aren't space pirates fun?
They're always fun.
They're always fun. Always makes for a fun episode. Also you get Pike talking in a pirate voice.
Okay, I love this so much.
Oh my gosh.
It was so funny. But the funniest part was Una just sitting there with this look on her face, this forced smile, and then she just says, please stop.
Yes, please stop. Please don't do that ever again. It was so great. It was so great. Loved it.
I love Rebecca Romaine so much.
Yes, she's wonderful. She's so sweet. And just really thoughtful. Like you can tell, like when I interviewed her again, please don't send me hate mail. No, but just stating facts, not trying to rub it in. When I did get to interview her,
I'm just jealous.
She was very thoughtful, like with all of her responses, and you can tell how much she loves the character. And she herself is also like a Star Trek fan. And I'm like, yeah, you don't do almost. Your entire resume is not almost entirely sci-fi if you're not a nerd. He's like, yes, Rebecca Romaine, you are a model and a nerd. I love you.
Well, Ethan Peck has done modeling, so there you go.
Also a model and a nerd.
Yes. He's such an adorable nerd. Just really is so cute. Here's the thing about Rebecca Romaine. I really hate seeing these posts of, oh, Rebecca Romaine can actually act. And I'm like, where in the hell have you been? And why are you the one judging her by her appearance? She has always been able to act. She has always been fantastic. And just because you didn't get it, that's your problem.
Yeah.
Also, she is 6 months older than I am. So we are from the same generation. And that makes me super happy.
Yeah, she's awesome. I adore her.
I've always adored her.
Yeah. She's a big fan. Like, I felt like when she got cast in that role, I'm a huge X-Men fan. Like, I've grew up reading the comics. I loved like the 90s cartoon. Loved the early 2000s films, X-Men Evolution. Like, just about almost every iteration of X-Men I've been able to get my hands on, I've just loved. And so, watching her, as Mystique and doing just a great job as Mystique, even like with very little dialogue, just having a very powerful presence on screen, watching her be like a villain that I love to hate. And then watching her play number one, I felt like kid me and adult me got to high five. Like in this one culmination of a thing. So she's been a very important part of my fandom life for 20 plus years. So
same.
Yeah. So anyway, Rebecca Romaine, we love you. Please be our friend.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Please. And, I could say Ethan Peck as well, but he's hardly on social media. So,
Yeah.
He does know I exist because he's liked some of my posts on Instagram.
Oh, that's so cool.
So there at least is that. He knows I exist. He couldn't pick me out of a crowd to save my life, but that's okay. Someday I might get to meet him someday, but it's not very likely anytime soon.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It will be wonderful when it does happen.
Yeah, well, the thing is I'm going to have to leave my home state because I live in Utah, and we do have a very successful and big fan convention that's called FanX. And we have had past Trek people, but never anyone who is in an actively running series, like they're actively on the show.
Okay.
So And I know that in their contracts, they only have so many appearances that they can make. And I don't think, even though they would be so fawned over if they came to Salt Lake City, that I don't think they're ever going to make Fan X one of those appearances. So unless I can somehow travel out of state, which is also not very likely because of my job and it being a thing where from March to September, it's a madhouse. Yeah, it's just really frustrating. I'll just whine about that for a second. And now I'm done.
Okay. Well, I will, not that I have any sway with such things, but I will hope for the best for you, friend.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Well, this episode was a lot to like digest and chew on. There was a lot of stuff going on. Very cool.
Yes.
Any final thoughts you want to say about the episode before we wrap tonight?
I loved this episode, even though it's a sort of typical episode that has happened in almost every Star Trek series.
Right.
But the way that they turned it on its head, I really appreciated that. They took a trope and turned it into something else. And I applaud their ingenuity. I think it was really well done. It was strong writing. Ethan's blowing it out of the water as Spock, and just everybody. There isn't a weak link in this cast. There is no person in this cast where I just think, oh, well, they could do better. No, they're all brilliant. Every single one of them. So I love this episode. And yeah, this season is just so great.
Yeah. This solid opening season for a brand new Trek series. I think, this is the 7th episode. We've got 3 more. I haven't found a stinker yet. So even though I didn't like last week's episode that much, it made me think. It made me think.
It's hard.
It doesn't, the reasons I don't like it was because I don't believe in no-win scenarios. And to me, that was, you handed me a no-win scenario. I was like, no, I'm going to buck against that every single time. But anyway,
I have so many thoughts on that too.
Yeah.
Which you can also hear on the Unready Room. The video is still available. Go to Kurt Ratz Productions on YouTube.
But yeah, I had a great time with this one. This was a really nice, return to form, action adventure, but also like some really solid character moments, which I enjoy the most. So.
Agree, because that's the thing. You can have all this action and the pew pew stuff, even though there really isn't as much of that as people think in Star Trek. But when it comes right down to it, you need to be telling the character stories overall.
Right.
And that's what they're doing. They have this overarching thing. Yes, but we have a story in each episode, and each episode builds on something else that they've done. And it is brilliant.
Yes, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. They're doing a great job. So I had a blast with this one overall. I'm really glad that I got to see it a little early, and I'm glad we get to talk about it with you. This is so much fun, Brandi. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, it's my pleasure. It's been great.
Yeah. Brandi, if the folks listening at home want to connect with you, what are some ways they can do that?
Well, as far as social media, probably the easiest thing to do is follow me on Twitter, which I am at Brandywine12, and Brandywine is with an I, BRANDIWINE. The 12 is actually the number 12. And that's where I post things. Mostly I retweet a lot of fan art and Star Trek posts, and also post whenever I'm doing an episode of my podcast. I have 3 Star Trek podcasts. I have Boldly Go, a Star Trek Strange New Worlds podcast, which our most recent episode came out today as of this recording, but by the time people are hearing this, the next one will be getting recorded. And I have a discovery podcast called What the Future Holds. And that one I roped my husband into along with our good friend Christopher Littlefield. We have fun with that. It's kind of on hiatus because of Chris's work schedule. And then I do a third one called The Vedic Assembly, which is about it's Deep Space Nine, which I do with my friend Nick. And and Boldly Go I do with my friend Suzanne Williamson, the aforementioned a person who is also in North Carolina. And then, of course, the Unready Room, Saturday nights, usually at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. You have a world clock in your phone. Figure out the time zone for yourself. And we go live at that time, and the video is always available afterwards for people to watch. And there's a live chat, so come there. And I do a podcast with my husband called the Dark Corner Podcast, because we are gothy people, and we like to talk about nerdy things at the same time. So we just kind of look at things, all things, but especially nerdy things from a darker perspective, if you will.
Ooh,
and that's it.
Okay. Cool. I have a connection to make with you with that later. But if you folks at home want to connect with me, there are a few ways you can do that. You can hit me up on the tweets at The Nerdy Blogger. You can like my Facebook page, facebook.com/TheNerdyBlogger. You can read my words on my blog, nerdyblogging.wordpress.com. You can also read my words on fangirlish.com, where I write a lot about Star Trek. So I do weekly reviews. Occasionally I get to do cool things like interview the cast of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, news wrap-ups, that sort of thing. I also write about film and other television and other things like that. You can hear my words being read on a Roddenberry podcast. It's called Sci-Fi 5. It's 5 minutes of science fiction history, 5 days a week. And you can hear me, aside from We Are Starfleet and many other podcasts here on the We Made This podcast network. You can hear me on my own podcast that I do with friends called Dearly Debated, where we fuss at each other about film, television, comics, video games, whatever we're geeking out about. So thank you so much for joining us for another episode of We Are Starfleet. And remember that We Are Starfleet is part of the We Made This podcast network. Please subscribe to We Are Starfleet and give us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And if you want to help out our network, please consider supporting us on Patreon. And you can do that on patreon.com/We Made This. Star Trek Strange New Worlds is not all that we're discussing at the moment, so we'll give you a taste of what you might have missed on the network in just a moment. Until next time, hit it.
Elsewhere on We Made This.
Make it so. A Star Trek Picard podcast.
Why? Why do you even need to bring that up? You don't. We've done a story, and you're just using that for the. Oh, God. No, it's like, no. I don't get it. I understand it. I understand Soongs. Soongs are always going to be in some way related to the Kang story because of genetics and the stuff like that they've done. I get it, but to do that, and if it comes in season 3, if it's a main thing in season 3, then I'll hold judgment. If it doesn't get mentioned in season 3, then what was the point?
Pick a disc.
Guardian reading lefty, which
a bleeding heart is one of the phrases we use a lot here in the US. Like, he cares about the homeless. I'm sort of shifting into my Limbo impersonation. Oh, he wants to house the homeless. What is he, a communist? Like, that's not. Maybe a little, but he's concerned with this. He's concerned with climate change. He's concerned with poverty. He's concerned with just general treatment of your fellow human beings. Like, I'm sure he resents having been subjected to trauma in his own life, and that gives him a great deal of sympathy, which I think is a good quality.
Third one, are the following names of hops US space shuttles or both?
Brilliant.
First one, Atlantis.
No, it's a US space shuttle, but is it a hop? I'm going to say it's just a US space shuttle.
Correct.
Good.
Have I got
to get best of 3 again?
Yeah, I didn't know that was a space shuttle. Well, that's my poor knowledge, that is. Second one, Galaxy.
I know that that's a hop because I've seen it in a pub recently. I don't know if it's a space shuttle, so I'm going to say both.
Just a hop, that one.
Oh, damn it.
Next one, Endeavour.
Check out all of these shows and more on the We Made This podcast network.